Rejoice, everyone. We're back with another Sekhie Reacts to Fate.
And for those of you who might not have understood the hint, and for those of you who did, it was a reference to the fact that Alexander the Great conquered parts of Persia. Well, most of Persia. And Arash, the archer, is a Persian hero. Which, is this our first Persian?
Straight up Persian? I don't know, but probably.
Must be, or at least close to. I will say, I did find a little bit of interest when I was looking up Arash, because, so if you look up the name Arash, Arash the Archer is not what comes up first. There's a singer with the name Arash who's apparently really popular, but also, Arash is technically his name, but he's also got different names depending on what version of the story you're reading and who wrote it. And Arash, the name itself, might actually derive from Artaxerxes, because it likely derives from the Parthian dynasty, which is where the Arsacids, right, which was a dynasty, claimed descendancy, which was Artaxerxes. So this is likely kind of a transition of a name becoming Arash over time, but he's also known by a bunch of different names in different countries, just slightly different each time.
This is our first Persian hero. We could have... There's another Persian hero in Fate that we very well could have done before this, but didn't. Oh. Not that it was on the schedule, but I mean, like, it's one that, like, it's on the schedule and now at some point, and it's just this one came first.
Do I know who it is?
Oh, yeah, it's not like it's the next video. It's Angramayu.
Oh, yeah. Angramayu, yeah. Are we not doing Angramayu and Ahura Mazda in the same video?
I don't have anything on Ahura Mazda yet.
Oh, never mind. Well, I was going to say technically that would make 3 servants, but... Darius?
Is Darius Persian? You're probably... Yeah.
Yes! I knew it!
We could have done Darius, too.
We could have done Darius, too, and I knew Darius was a character.
Persian heroes. I didn't look up Persian historical figures.
Persian historical figures, yeah. Now somebody's gonna come into the comments and mention that there was a Persian historical figure I forgot.
Actually, one of the people that are components of the Sakura 5 also have a Persian god within them.
Actually, one of Alexander the Great's generals was a Persian. Actually, that might be true. I don't know. I've forgotten at this point. It's been so long, and I've filled my brain with so many other things since then.
I'm sorry, guys. We love you.
So, Arash the Archer is a heroic archer that is present in Persian mythology. He was a warrior for the legendary king of ancient Persia called Mentuchehr, who reigned for about 120 years and was a descendant of a very famous hero king called Feridun. Obviously, excuse my pronunciation. Persian is not my area of expertise, nor really is any of the languages in this family grouping. I just don't know them very well. We moved away
from the Slavic languages.
We moved to languages I don't know. So he's the descendant of this ancient hero king who did battle against an incarnate of evil dragon called Zahak, who was the last king of the Age of the Gods in Western Asia.
Hey, Age of Gods.
Yeah, so he was the strongest archer, and he's really famous because he brought an end to a war between the civilizations of Turan and Persia that had lasted over 60 years. So he's known as a warrior of salvation who bestows peace and tranquility upon both countries. He saved thousands of people by this feat and is generally celebrated by some really famous poets. And the name Arash is now one of the most popular in the Persian-speaking world today. So, in regards to the war, eventually, on account of him, the war came to an end, and the rulers decided to create a boundary between their kingdoms. The defeated Iran was ordered to shoot an arrow towards Turan. Where the arrow landed was to mark the border between the two countries. So while they were dealing with this, Sapandarmas, who was the Earth's angel, appeared and what?
So when we're talking Persian, are we counting strictly like people from Persia or from Persian, like what we would attribute as Persia, or are we talking that historical like landmass, the historical area of the world?
The culture Persia.
Okay.
Well, because yes, there is an area of the world that Persia occupies, but
We're occupied these days. It's Iran.
But Persia is a culture, not an ecological zone.
Okay, because if we were talking just that local area, the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yeah, but that's not Persian.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's not Persian. This is one of the. It's a culture area, not a geographic area, even though the culture exists.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it depends on what you're talking about here.
Yeah, if I'd said like the area of Iran, then I would have mentioned Gilgamesh, but because we're going with the Persian culture, then no. So, this earth angel appeared and was ordered to bring a bow and arrow. Arash, who was the most powerful of the Iranian men at shooting an arrow, was given the arrow to fire as far away as he could. The angel told him to take the bow and shoot it, and Arash the archer knew that the width of the land of Iran would depend on the power of his arrow, so he put all of his might into that one shot. Got ready, showed his body to the king and army, said, I am healthy, there is no flaw in me, but know that the moment I release this arrow, all my power will leave my body and go into this arrow. So he shot the arrow from the peak of the Damavand, which is the highest mountain in the Arboresm string of mountains, on the morning of T.H.E, which is in July. He faced the Turan lands with all his strength, pulled this bow back. Hormuz, the god, ordered the Angel of Wind to take care of the arrow and to preserve it from all harm. The arrow flew the whole morning and fell only at noon, 2,250 kilometers out, past the bank of the Oxus River in what is now Central Asia. This river then became the boundary between Iran and Turan for centuries, and when Arash let the bow go, he fell to the ground and passed away on Mount Damavand. Arash's body, according to legend, was never found, but there are still stories from travelers who are lost on the mountain saying that they heard his voice and it helped them find the way and save their lives from being lost in the mountains while they were hiking and journeying. Every year, he's celebrated in a memorial ceremony on that day called the Tergan Festival. He's also really popular in recent literature. So in 1959, Siavash Krashie wrote a poem, Arash the Archer, which was an epic narrative based on the old Persian myth, depicting his heroic sacrifice to liberate his country from foreign dominion. In 1977, Bahram Beyzai wrote Aras, which was a play that opened in 1977 as a response to Aras-i Kamangir. This was staged a number of times around the world, including at the Annenberg Auditorium at Stanford University in July of 2013, actually. So there's a really strong modern tradition surrounding Arash in Iran and sort of in this folklore that has been codified into modern epic mythology, which is, I think, a really fun and interesting thing that people can do now because... we talked about how there's no like modern, mythology, but this is people creating modern mythology. Arash was not he was not a hero of an epic tale. He was a historic hero, a folk hero, a hero of myth and legend, but this is a modern author creating a modern epic folktale, which is really cool in my opinion, because I think this could be done all over the world to a ton of different characters from folklore and history. So I think that's a really fun concept, personally. There's also, in 2020, the World Institute in Nauruz unveiled Arash's Kamangir golden arrow, symbolizing peace and romantic defense, in 2020. As like a symbol of world peace and defense, which I think is pretty fucking cool.
There's a photo of it on Wikipedia if you want to scroll down to it.
Oh yeah, I should do that. Yeah, so this is, according to them, Arash Kumangiri. This is his golden arrow that symbolizes peace, which I think is pretty fun. Obviously, depending on story, the distance the arrow travels is kind of different. So in one version, it's over 1,000 leagues. In another, it's 40 days walk. In some stories, it travels from dawn until sunset. Some stories set a specific day instead of a specific month exclusively. So, and there's also different shooting spots according to different stories.
Just imagine if there happened to be someone standing where it landed.
That would suck. But I mean, essentially, the story here is that he is by kind of proxy of descendancy descended from this great hero king who was involved with the dragon Sekhie, and he was the one who shot the arrow to determine the boundary between these two warring nations after 60 years of war, and he poured his entire soul and being into firing that arrow, dropping dead once it left his bow, which is incredibly meaningful and symbolic. He literally sacrificed his life for the sake of his nation, because his nation was the loser in the conflict, but he sacrificed...
And if he just fired an arrow, that would have been, like, at best, like, an acre of land.
Yeah, but he sacrificed his life to win his country, essentially. I think that's really impressive.
So take a wild
Archer.
guess.
Please tell me he's an archer. An archer who actually uses a bow and arrow.
Yeah, he's an archer.
Thank fucking God. Oh, and it's not even a gender bend. Is it my birthday?
We haven't had any gender bends today.
Technically, no.
Hey, you were calling that servant your favorite servant. So.
I was. It is my favorite servant. I'm being sassy for no fucking reason. I do like the design, though. Can you tell that this is once again teal?
Looks purple.
This is almost the same color teal as Kiyohime's first art. Yeah.
Which I also thought looked purple.
Exactly. That's what I thought. Yeah. Oh, he looks so dumb. I like that he's a little Japanese spirit with the the little thing and the ghost body at the bottom.
He's dead.
I love it. Nice. A simple design. Is he a bit of an older servant?
He launched with FGO, but he predates FGO, actually.
So he is a bit of an older servant.
Yeah, he comes from Fate Prototype Fragments, the prequel to Fate Prototype. Remember that novel that was written as a prequel to something that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
He is, he's the archer of that Grail War, and he is one of the most selfless, loyal servants there are.
Well, yeah.
It is outright stated that when he was summoned in Prototype Fragments, I believe he told his master that he was unlikely to ever betray them.
Oh.
And he actively just holds no wish for the Grail at all. He just wishes to be a hero that saves innocent people. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of artwork of him because Prototype.
Aww.
So pretty worth scrolling through.
That looks really good. Let's see, because I'm avoiding the Fate Grand Order artwork, so...
There's live action.
Oh, I didn't realize he was in live action. You know, his outfit's actually simple enough that it doesn't look bad.
No, it doesn't.
In live action. Oh, he's in the Camelot movie.
Yeah, that was probably one of his biggest FGO chapters. Or it was his biggest FGO
Well, he
chapter.
looks great along with the Hassans.
Yeah.
Hassan of Serenity and I don't remember which.
Cursed Arm.
Cursed Arm. Okay. Awesome. Oh, he's so cute. I love it. Okay. Alright. Oh, dear. Okay. Alright.
Can you tell he's an older servant?
When I look at that pharaoh, it seems he's taken a liking to the hustle and bustle of Chaldea. Good, good. By the way, have you seen that guy's fortress-shaped noble phantasm? No, not the one he usually drops. A pyramid. No, it's more like the shape of a ship. Yeah, it's best you never see it. It's tough to explain, but that thing's no joke. It's a realm no ordinary human should try stepping into. Yo, how are you? Assassin? I mean, Missy Serenity. What's that? Nothing gonna happen even if you try to grab hold of my arm? What, you're surprised your poison really doesn't affect me? Haha, how many times have you said that already? Hey there, Castor Paracelsus. He just left without saying anything. What's up with that? That guy's true name is Jekyll, right? So looks like he decided to shoulder all that baggage on his own. He's so dedicated, seriously. The King of the Knights from another world, Arthur Pendragon. I'm still not used to calling you by your true name. Don't you agree, Saber? By the way, how far have you and that girl with the glasses gone? You just looked away, didn't you? Yo, it's the Lady Lancer, the fair Brynhildr. If you've got some time on your hands, how about we have a drink together? So you're the famed Sigurd, the great Norse hero. The rumors were true. Yeah, with looks like yours, I don't blame Lancer for falling in love with you. Nice. All right, let's have the great heroes of the North and East drink the night away. There's a bunch of different Cucullins. Well, I guess that's heroic spirits for you. Look, Arash, we all appreciate the amount of Cucullins. All right, let's see. Missy Pharaoh, I'm glad to see you're well today. Okay. What's with that getup? A medjet? Stop messing with me. You're Missy Pharaoh. That old man of the mountain. That's Hassan of the Cursed Arm, right? Unfortunately, I don't remember much about him from my past life, and I haven't talked to him much since I've come to Chaldea. But when I do cross paths with him sometimes, my cheeks get all warm. Makes me all happy and nostalgic. What's up with that? Maybe he and I would really get along. Actually, the Hassans. Are they... Is Old Man of the Mountain Persian? I think he might be a little bit later than Persia, but it should be near the right area of the world. I wasn't even thinking about the Hassans.
Remember, the Hassans in Fate continue on as a lineage.
Yeah, but...
So Cursed Arm...
But what I'm wondering is, do the Hassans start after historical, like the ancient Persia I'm thinking about, or during?
Around what time period would that be?
Well, what time period are the Hassans?
So the first Hassan, the founder, 1050 AD.
Okay, so well after. But it is the same area of the world. So that actually makes sense why he would, like, have a specific line regarded to them. Okay. All right. Oh. Hang on. I'm going to look at art. That's what I'm going to do.
So that's Arash and his master. Normally I'd go into Arash in
oh, hey, I know those people.
I think you know them all.
I know them all. God. Man, I want to read this. Okay. All right. Abilities.
Sorry, I have a text I should respond to. All right.
Abilities.
So, Arash here is an actual archer, which should go without saying, but...
Well, technically we have another archer. Rama or Sita? One of them. Sita.
But he is the most archer servant of all of Fate, which is, in my opinion, which, isn't a high bar.
So does that mean that refrigerators shoot out of his bow?
Yes. No. So he is shown to be able to launch an inhuman amount of arrows into the sky at any given
10,000.
time. Yeah. He doesn't need to have a bow.
Remember, we talked about Leonidas and the invading Persians, and how one of Leonidas's men came up to him and he was like, "Sir, they have so many arrows that when they fire them, it'll black out the sun." And he was like, "All the better to fight in their shadow."
Yeah, I mean, you see a note there where it says, like, if he wanted to, he could wipe out an entire ass city easily if he was actually trying with just his regular arrows.
So it reminds me of the Persian army with the enough arrows to wipe out the sun for Leonidas to fight in the shade.
Another part that helps him with this is he can just make a bow. Like, if you give him any base materials, he can make a bow of pretty high quality. And he doesn't need anything to fire his arrows. Like, this is why he can fire so many arrows, because he's not firing arrows. He's firing energy, like magic energy, basically.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And then you'll see in his skills, he has a level of clairvoyance, so you don't even really need to aim. And, yeah, you got the most archer of archers.
I love that. Robust health, too. Yeah, not receiving wounds on battlefield and stuff. So, Noble Phantasm is Stella, the ultimate shot.
So this is the recreation of Arash's legend, except the poetic importance of dividing the land becomes a literal power output measure. Arash fires an arrow that on impact is a blast strong enough to, if he wants, literally break the continent in two. However,
Man's over here literally separating Pangea.
Yeah. He will never choose to do that, though. Instead, he'll spread the power across a wider area in just a straight-up more destructive blast.
Yeah.
It is probably one of the single most physically destructive noble phantasms at the cost of Arash disappearing after it's used. So this is a suicide attack.
I don't know if you were going to mention this flavor text, but there's a little bit down here that says Tawara Tota claimed that few may have shot down the stars, but none have the divine skill to obliterate them. It was a shot as if Hachiman, the god of archery and war, dwelled within it.
Yeah.
That's fucking epic.
The arrow that he's talking about there, that was Arash with just a single arrow,
Goddamn.
piercing the strongest use we've seen in Fate of Rongominiad so far.
Goddamn.
It's actually a beautiful animation. I'd be willing to show it to you now if you want, but we can't have it in the video itself.
I will watch it later.
Okay.
You can send it to me.
So yeah.
I also see an alternate form down here.
So this is a footnote. I can mention this. There's a blackened form that's in theory in Prototype story itself, but we never actually get to see it because Prototype doesn't exist. So Arash alter could be a thing, but
oh hey, look, done by Black. All right, so
he is
too loud. I can tell. Do we have like a...
This is an animation update, so it's a little bit nicer than it could have been.
Yeah.
Like, you should see his... You're going to see his old sprites in
Hey, but he's using his bow.
He's actually firing a bow.
We have to give credit for the archer doing arching. You know?
Archest of archers.
The archiest of archers. The most archerist of all archers in FGO. With the exception of maybe Sita, who also uses a bow.
But she's not technically in FGO.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's only in Arcade?
Yep, which is probably going to be closing down by the end of the year.
Aw, that's unfortunate. Oh, he is not doing much. Okay.
Yeah.
He's doing the same.
He has a nicer sprite, nicer animations. He's still
Yeah.
a 1-star, so he doesn't have a lot going on.
I mean, I'll check the skill animations if it ever loads.
By the way, he's a 1-star servant, so he is stupid easy to get.
Oh, great. Awesome. I want him.
Very nice to have a good boss killer in the early game.
Oh, interesting. I would be happy to have him.
Just drop a couple buffs onto his attack power, and he nukes spot.
All right, NP. It is a big arrow. It is a strong arrow. Oh, it just obliterates people. Okay, awesome. All right.
Oh, so just fun side note here.
I can... Oh, no, I thought the sprites were there. I'm going to have to look over here. Okay, what's up?
Fun side note here. There was a... You know how these games, they always have like little here's interviews with the voice actors.
Yeah.
Arash shares a voice actor with the main character of FGO, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Ritsuka in the anime.
Yeah.
But besides that, when he was doing... Like, the pre-Ritsuka, he was just talking out on a panel at FGO, and I think all the voice actors were saying Noble Phantasms of Servants they played, and he chose to say Arash.
Aww.
So he yelled, Stella! And leaned back in his chair and fell down after saying it.
Aww.
I think it was, I'm 90% sure it was on purpose, but...
Also, I love he's even an archer in baseball. I love it. Alright, so so just the background.
There used to be a generic background
yeah.
and it was 1 and 2 and 3 star servant.
Yeah.
No, only 1 and 2 stars.
Oh yeah, I can see his old sprites. Oh, he looks like a kid. Yeah, I remember how the old sprites were a little funky, but Jesus. Okay. Oh, hey look. He's got dual figure, but it's his old sprite design. Oh, that's unfortunate. Darn. Okay. I actually have a fair amount of... because he was in Prototype.
He was Prototype and he's year 1.
Yeah. Oh, I have a commentary to make already on one of these. Okay. Noisy Obsession. And now I know who that is. Nope. That has names in it. And I don't know if I know all those
Click
people.
into the artwork, I could tell.
The problem is, I know the person in the front. I don't know if I know the person on the left. With the pink hair. And the white streak.
Let me look up the CE on my own side so you don't have to have it pulled up in editing.
It's noisy obsession.
Yep. Yeah, you don't know that person. We'll be back to them sooner rather than later, though.
Cool, I'm closing it. Holy devotion. Oh, interesting. Across the sky of morning light, lights of 7 colors can be seen. 7 colored lights. I thought it was only 1 light when I fired it. Yet again, I never get to see the end. I guess the lights were 7 colors. Aww. Chickpea paste and... oh, it's hummus. It's a hummus equivalent and fried dough. Every culture had the smart idea to fry dough. A mountain of bread baked to a golden brown and plenty of hummus, a dip made with ground chickpeas. A fragrant aroma wafts through the air and stimulates your appetite. Naan is more filling than pita when it comes to bread, or so he says. Now come, don't hold back and eat up. I want hummus now. Okay, I know this CE. I did not know who that was.
Yep.
Because this is Aussie. I love this CE. Look, there's even a little Medjed Nitocris right here. Oh shit, those are hieroglyphics.
Can you read them?
If you reversed them around, I could if you gave me about 30 minutes.
Some little Photoshop, reverse the image, zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to do that, I can try to read them. I don't know if they'll actually say anything because they're not put together the way that you should for words. I can tell that already.
They might just be the artist's favorite hieroglyphics.
Or just random hieroglyphics. Yep. I've read this one. I love it. He looks so good here. They both do. Hey, all right. I know everyone?
No, you're missing one.
Oh, I don't know this person.
Yep.
I know all the rest of them. What a good picture of Ozzy. All right, I'm going to skip that then for now. We'll be back to it. Oh, shit. Okay, there he is.
Yep. You don't know the person in the front, though.
Okay. So I'll just wait.
Up to you. I don't think this one's going to say anything. But...
It doesn't, but I will wait because we will be back to it. All right, Celebration Bouquet. Oh, with Ozzy. So he's paired with Ozzy a lot because of Camelot.
Actually, probably Prototype Fragments because they're both in the same story.
Okay. Yeah.
Ozzy is also Prototype Fragments.
Okay.
Another reason you need to read that.
I really do need to read it.
I've been trying to find good translations.
Somebody send Knick Knack a good translation of Prototype Fragments?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to read it. The burdens that weigh heavily upon these two who achieved such great things have been lifted. The bouquets they carry for the banquet will need to be especially magnificent. Otherwise, the blooms will wither in the face of their greatness. After all, everyone from the leading players to the smallest of supporting characters is a star of such magnitude as to fill their story with their radiance. Looking smart. Chaldea Satellite Station. Oh, he's right here. With the video camera.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I think I've read this. The winter we're going to various places. We'll deliver the broadcast program from sites to meet you. The broadcasting staffs of Chaldea will be going to Fukuoka, Shizuoka, Kochi, and Hokkaido in high spirits. Heroic Spirit Dream Portrait. Arash.
Getting a little martial arts there.
Yeah, 7th anniversary. It's in Sin. Yeah. If I have met you there in a different form, then maybe I would have seen the heroic spirits in a different light. I mean, it looks nice. Mm-hmm. Traditional Chinese costume. But all of the ones set in Sin have them wearing Chinese costumes, so I don't mind that at all. I like Arash. I think this is a really good interpretation of a servant. It's an archer who arches.
It's a rarity, I know.
It's an archer who arrows. We love it. We love to see it. So, with that note...
Next one's a big one.
Our next video is a super video. It's not quite on the level of Roundtable, but you get the idea.
It's a long one.
Yeah. I hope you will enjoy it when it comes out. Like, comment, subscribe.